Hello there, this is Rom coming back at you with yet another car video. I gotta look up here and everything. Yeah, whether it's code approach or choosing signals, it's still her choice and your choice. Yeah, that's all right. Anyway, anyway, I wanted to talk about that because, somebody hit me up on Patreon. It was asking about that. What the hell? And was it Patreon? I don't know. I get so many DMs around here. It was, what was it exactly? Yeah, this young man wanted to know whether I preferred code approaching or choosing. So you say you never really talked about it. I was like, whatever it is at the moment. And, that inspired me to do this because, there's two things with it. One, I've always talked about a woman making a choice. That's still a choice, even if you cold approach a woman. Now, I've said plenty of times that women, they can spot you from months. God damn, dude. This dude actually went past somebody sitting right there just to make that right turn. I hope he getting some pussy. Every time I see somebody doing some crazy shit like that in the morning, I hope they ain't stupid enough to be late for work. I hope they getting some pussy. Like some woman called up and said, baby, it's got right open for you. Or I got my hair tied back. I'm on the pillow for you. My knees on the pillow for you. Anyway. Anyway, first of all, whether you cold approach her or whether she giving choosing signals. One, she's making a choice. Two, even if you cold approach her, she still has to make a choice. She's just making it right there. And I've said, even in my book, Nice Guys and Players, where I actually listed some ways women will send signals, but I also said, I didn't use the term damn, but if you see that real fine woman, you don't think you'll see her again, approach. Now, if you see that woman who got, I got to do my usual spiel with the body. She got those big breasts, and she got that snatch waist. She got that big old butt dunk, and she got those thick thighs. Yeah, I know it would save lives. Shoot. You should just approach. I use the term the damn principle. If you see a woman out and about and you see her and you like, damn, go ahead and approach. She's still making a choice. And even when she's you're looking for some choosing signals, because a lot of guys will look for choosing signals. But what if that woman, you look at it and say, damn, but she just don't happen to see it? Plus, women, let me tell you something with women. Women can be slick about it too. They could be checking you out and waiting for you to look at them. You might not see them checking you out. They don't always give you choosing signals. But then, even in those situations, you don't know what they choosing you for or why they really looking at you. Like a woman could see a man, look him up and down, and he thinking he getting choosing signals, but he was just jacked up. He was just fascinatingly ugly to her. And yeah, I know some women like some medium ugly or some even like ugly, but I mean ugly, like, I'll say unattractive. How's that? Fascinatingly unattractive. Like, she gonna go back and tell her girlfriends and stuff. She'd be like, girl, I saw this dude. He was totally jacked up. He going back and telling his boys feeling good, talking about, yeah, had this woman checking me out. Yeah, feeling good. You don't know. But see, that's when it still come down to your choice. Your choice. Because, first of all, if you're going to cold approach that woman, you still have to make that choice back. And even if she give you choosing signals, just because, now, it's been said, I've said it, and even, of course, some pimps have said it, and then some wise people have said, like who like you. But if you ain't attracted to him, you ain't attracted to him, what you going to do, right? But you making a choice whether or not you going to still deal with him, right? You're making a choice. That's very important. So, yeah, she making her choice, but then you making her choice. Your choice. I even said that in Nice Guys and Players when I talked about a woman choosing. You got to choose her back. And really, I also said, if you ain't, like a woman is being blatant about it, you not interested, you just be like, I don't want you. Sometimes you might have to just tell them. It's like, nah, girl, you ain't it for me. And yeah, they gonna act all funky and stuff, let them. But you ain't feeling it. As this friend of mine said one time, you can't bribe your dick. So you don't, but you still have that. And see, that's the real thing to understand about no matter how you look at it, whether you choosing them, whether you cold approaching them, or whether you choose them. Now, to be clear, because sometimes some people don't get it, I'm just going to be real with you. Personally, it's dependent on the situation. Personally, it depends on the situation. Like, if I see a woman and my word is like, damn! Nah. Anyway, my word is like, damn, well, I'm going to approach. Sometimes it might be like, yeah, she all right, let me see what's up. Let me see what's up. Making a choice. And sometimes they might be blatant about it. Still looking at them up and down. It's like, yeah, okay, yeah, let me see what's up with it. All right, boom. Making a choice. See, for any relationship to really happen, to do anything, both sides still need to be on accord. You're not forced to, because some guys will hear like, oh, just like who like me. What if I don't like them? Dumbass don't deal with them. It's just that simple. Oh, even when you hear somebody telling you that like who like you still paying attention to them. And it's still, you still got to like them back. You ain't forced into doing anything. That's just another opening. In fact, I would look at like choosing signals that just a bit easier than average. That's the only way you can really look at it. It's just easy. And even then, sometimes, like I said, women can be weird. They could be just looking at you for whatever. They could be checking you out. Could be going to tell their girlfriends how jacked up you were, something to laugh about. Or here's something. They could give you that choosing signal. You still approach. They talk to you and they don't like it. Like I always say, a woman, she'll say a guy was fine until he opened his mouth. It happens. I mean, that's part of the game. That's just part of the game. Nothing's automatic, no matter what you do. So you really, I would just say overall, just getting to a bigger level with it, be prepared. Sometimes you're going to have to approach. Now, I know some people try to have an if or, but if you see that fine ass woman who got everything you want, what you going to do? Be like, well, I'm going to wait for choosing signals. You don't have time to. Fuck all that shit. And then some other times when, you might not even see the woman. Because trust me, women be checking out men out here too. I remember when I was working on one of my 1,000 jobs, I found out about a woman I ain't never seen her around was checking me out hard. Somebody else in the office had to say, yeah, this other woman checking you out. I'm like, who? I ain't never seen her around. And I've had that happen. So it's like, But you have to, it still come down to what you gonna do. Didn't have to wait at that light here. Yeah, okay, I see a truck up there still. You know this a speed trap. I ain't seen a popo around lately. I ain't seen the popo. I don't know what's going on with him. Not with him. With him. Is that popo up here? Hiding behind the truck? Nah. No. There's some people, some workers, they about to work on the roof. Yeah, you got, sometimes popo be slick. You gotta look pay. You gotta look around them and whatnot. Yeah. Anyway, you know, sometimes you like just talking about that whole choosing signal, cold approach, choosing signal, whatever. It really does depend on the situation, where you at, who you at, what's going on and whatever. So she's making a choice, you making a choice. And it's kind of like on, the gift that keep on giving, the balloon pop shows. I got a mutual choice. We got a match. I gotta stop calling that. Well, that's the gift that keep on giving because there's always some bullshit with it. You're always gonna see some. But you know what? I'll just say this. Let me just go on a tangent real quick. It is what it is. You just be seeing what be happening out here in the streets anyway. They just don't have balloons. And, I would just say this. If you're a man looking, like I say, you see that fine woman got what you like, it's better that you just cold approach anyway. Now, if you ain't seeing what you always like, well, pay attention for the signals. But also, too, women, they don't always give signals. They could be checking you out. In fact, what did I say also? I've said this several times. A woman might see you from a distance. Wait a minute, let me turn this on. Well, I don't need it. Let me see. Yeah, okay, ain't that hot out here. A woman might see you from a distance. She might start clocking you and put yourself in a position. I've talked about women doing that. I think at least one woman did that with me. Because I found out later she knew about me a year before I met her. Oh, man. I'm going to just say this. Let me just go on a tangent. You know how I do on when I'm in the car. You know how I do when I'm in the car. I just roll with it. I don't get mad at women's games. I just laugh and just go with it. I just go with the flow with it. Because they be slick. They be checking you out, doing their little stuff. How they be shooting their shot. They just do it. You don't get mad at it. Because some guys be like, how come they don't just come up? Because they women. Shit, you don't get mad. You let them do their thing. Like, I said this one time I was in a hotel room with this Jamaican woman. And I was ready all fired up. She said, hold up, man. Let me do what I got to do first. Then you can do what you do. And I learned, that's one thing I learned. I said, you know what? I'm just going to let it flow. Yeah, sometimes you're going to have to approach. You see it, you be like, God damn. Sometimes you just chilling. You might be doing something. You should be living your life anyway. And she might come up to you, might put herself in position. Shoot, you might be in a grocery store. First you see that woman and you getting avocados. And then you getting some like soup crackers or something. Then you get some orange juice and you keep seeing this woman in wherever you go. She's hunting. And then I'm going to tell you, it really is something with women when you approach them and they act surprised. It's like, baby, you've been in all the places I'm going to be. They waiting for you. In fact, I never forget this meme I saw one time. it was a woman shooting a shot, and she ain't say one word to the guy, and he ain't say nothing to her. And then she walked away. She said, well, I shot my shot. Yeah. I see you, girl, chewing and you chewing all loud. At least close your mouth, motherfucker. Shit. God damn. Anyway. Yeah, and I know some of y'all prefer I do car videos because I do what I do. But when we talk about that whole choice thing, yeah, she making her choice, so she always making her choice. You approach her, she making a choice right then. She might have seen you a while away. Now, if she saw you a while away, if she didn't want you, she'll try to avoid you. Wait a minute. She'll try to avoid you. And then she giving some choosing signals, which you gotta really pay attention to it. Like a woman, let me talk about that for a second. Unless it's just something blatant, like she just all up in your face, or she in your presence, she talking to you. You can't go by just a woman looking at you. Like I say, they can look at you and think you the most unattractive thing going, and then they're gonna go back and tell their friends or something. Or you wearing some jacked up piece of clothing. You wearing some jacked up shoes or something. So you gotta take that with a grain of salt. And then no matter what, you still gotta choose them back. They can't force anything on you. Because even if you got like a certain type of woman that's choosing like unattractive women, and some guys have complained about that. But I would say this: if you got unattractive women constantly trying to come on to you, what is it about you? You the only thing they had in common. You the only thing they had in common. If you get these women, you don't like them and say they the ones showing some interest or something, okay, what is it about you? And of course, that's my that's your trademark there. That's another conversation. Oh man. Yeah. That's a whole other conversation. But you still get a choice there in what you want to do. Because remember, it's still what you want to do with the woman. You know, you got to choose whether you cold approach her or whether you look for choosing signals. She got to make that choice. She got to make her choice. You make your choice. And then it's a match. Oh, man. Yeah. Yeah, y'all probably saying, bro, I'm doing a car video today. Well, hopefully what was going on last week. Yeah. No, I'm just sneaking out doing a car video. Just sneaking out doing a car video. I know how y'all love it. Oh, dang. That young lady ain't behind me with chewing with her mouth all open. Looking all trifling. Yeah, oh man. Go in, go get some vittles. Anyway, right? It's still choices. Still choices. Her choice, your choice. If you're on the same page, a matching choice. And you still gotta do what you gotta do. Alright? Still gotta do what you gotta do. And you still, I would just say this: if you we already know about the women's choice. Look, if you see a woman out there, don't be up there thinking, and I will say, as much as I say pay attention to the choice, if you see that woman, she fine, she gets your joy in her, go for it. Just go for it, all right? So anyway, that's all I got for today, y'all. That's all I got for today. I'll get back with y'all another time. Get back with y'all tomorrow. Anyway, peace, y'all.